Welcome to episode 31 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Alyson.
I'm Edward.
And gosh, we're not together anymore.
We're not together anymore. Yes.
We're back to virtual podcasting.
We are two tiny squares on a Zoom meeting.
Many miles apart.
Many miles. How does it feel to be back in the U.S. away from me?
Ugh. It's sad. It's sad. Did not want to come back. I can't believe it's already been almost a week.
It's been a week, yeah. Yeah, since I've seen
My
you.
mind is blown. The time has flown by. Oh yeah, it has been a week because I left
on Saturday.
I spent a night in Paris before I came back to the U.S. Let's talk about that little update. So,
what happened? Is this something I don't know?
Well, no, I think I told you this, but I'm like, okay, I just booked a hotel room close to the airport because I had an overnight layover. I'm like, no big deal. There's hotel shuttles. There are like buses. I could take a cab. I could take an Uber. There are other like shuttle lines, right? So I'm going through the terminals, get to the right terminal I need to go to because there's obviously, there's like one terminal has the train stations, one has like the TGV station, the local stations, one has the bus station. Like,
yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. Nothing's like
it's a big
ever
whole
in the
thing.
same place. Yeah.
No, never in the same place. But I'm like, whatever. It's just a longer walk / tram ride, but whatever. So of course I get to like the station that I want to go to. All of the lines that take you to the hotels are just, there's like a little paper sign up like indefinitely canceled. We don't know if they're coming back. So
That's so random. Did the hotel like not communicate that to you?
Okay, this is France. Like, no, the hotel did not communicate this, but I'm like,
fair.
Whatever. I did all the research on my own, right? Like, the hotel's website says, oh, you can reach us here. We're by this bus stop. You could take these lines. You could take a shuttle.
But it wasn't like updated.
It wasn't like detailed information. So I got my details elsewhere. But I'm like, okay, cool. So the pink line that should take me to the hotel doesn't work. So I'm like, okay, up next, bus. We'll take a bus. So, and it was late. It was already after 8 p.m. at this point. So I get to the bus stops. There are 2 buses I can take. I check one of them. The next one's not going to come for another hour. So I'm like, nope, not taking that bus. So I go over to the other platform. I'm like, okay, this is my last hope. Otherwise, I got to go all the way back to the other terminal and get in a cab. That bus was leaving in like 10 minutes. So I'm like, perfect, hallelujah, incredible. I still had a leftover bus ticket from the last time I was in Paris. Used that bad boy. I was like, okay, we're in business. So the bus is flying, right? He's flying. And then it's like, we passed the stop before mine. And it announces the stop. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me get up and signal. My stop's coming up. And it says, next stop. My stop name. So I'm like already standing up, moving towards the thing. I signal. He flies past my bus stop.
Are you like the only person on this bus?
It announces the bus stop. No, there were other people on the bus too.
Oh,
and I'm like,
awkward. I would have just done the same thing and just rode that bus until it stopped eventually.
Sir, like, I signaled in more than enough time for you to stop at my stop. It was more than enough time.
Was the stop out of service?
No, oh no, it wasn't out of service. He just decided he ain't want to stop there. He stopped at the next one, though.
I hate that. I hate when that happens.
He stopped at the next one, though. So I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, obviously I'm going to get off here. I'm not going to ride this thing to the end. That'll take me even further away.
Well, yeah. Did you not say anything to the driver?
No, I was like,
yeah, I get too much anxiety
whatever.
there.
It's not even worth it. Like, I'm not going to get into a fight with this bus driver. Let me just get off this bus. So I get off the bus. I walk to the wrong hotel first because there are two hotels with the exact same name right across the street from each other. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I went into the wrong one first.
Yeah, that seems like it's par for the course.
Yeah. It was so nice, too. I walk in, I'm like, saying there's a game room, there's a spa, there's a pool. This is a nice
play some
place.
Games.
It wasn't my place. Don't get me wrong. My hotel was perfectly fine. The room was really nice. The breakfast was great. It was, it was nice.
You struggled, though. You struggled.
I struggled,
on the way
though.
Home.
I did.
You did. But you made it.
But I made it.
Eventually.
Here.
Did you have any struggles in the U.S. or was it smooth sailing?
Oh, no. It was totally fine. And, like I said, once I got to the hotel, that was totally fine. The people were super nice. They gave me a little welcome bag. Gave me coffee for the morning. A bottle of water. Yeah, so they ask you, like, do you want coffee or tea? They gave me 2 coffee pods, all of, like, the, like, cream, sugar, mixers, a bottle of water, all that stuff. Yeah. And then
that's the welcome bag? It's just the drink. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like 9:15 p.m. at that point, so.
A perfect time for you to have a coffee.
Right. No, I had it the next morning before I went out for a walk. I was like, let me go out for a walk. There's this bakery by me that's open. I'll go there.
Right. Your other little
breakfast.
Disaster.
Surprise, surprise. The bakery wasn't even open, even though it said it was.
Was it a holiday?
No shock there. It must have been a holiday. Well, it was weird because...
Was it a Sunday?
Well, yeah. So it was a Sunday in August. So, like, even though they're normally open on Sundays, obviously, Sunday in August, probably on holiday. But it's weird because there was this, like, little window open next to... You know how, like, the shutters go all the way down to the ground when, like, a place is closed. Like, they're outside shutters. Yeah. Well, there was, like, this window open next to it, and I'm pretty sure a guy was in there, like, baking bread. Maybe he was just selling, like, your morning baguette out of the side window, but I was like, no, I want to sit down, I want coffee, I want breakfast. It was weird.
That is strange. Also, he could have just been doing it for himself, to be honest.
True.
One of the families I au paired with, the, like, uncle owned one of the bakeries in the... town, and we went once to like look at it when they were like remodeling that summer, and yeah, those people just be obviously, I mean, you'd never think of it because like you just assume that it's a store, but they just be using that stuff for their own stuff as well, which is like, yeah, I guess. Oh my gosh,
I would. Yeah. If I owned a bakery.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Yeah. A lot of equipment back there. But speaking of things that are closed, so like as you know, as everyone knows, Kitty is leaving. Actually, this episode will come out the day that she leaves the continent, and we've been trying to like do things before she goes, like last minute or like last time do this, last time do that, but because it's August and it's towards the end of August, nothing is open. Like every restaurant she wants to go to is closed. We tried to go to the Mexican place, it was closed. Tried to go to this Moroccan place, it was closed. I'm surprised. We're going to an Argentinian place tonight. I'm surprised that it was not closed, but like everything is like, we come back September 5th, September 9th, September this, September that. So
that's so sad.
Tis the season.
There were a few places we wanted to go when I was there that were not open.
No, they were not, but to be expected because August Europe. August in Europe.
I had one other announcement. I meant to make this announcement first, but then I just went off
what's the announcement?
Story and ran with it. Yesterday was a very special person's birthday. Friend of the pod, can you guess? Loyal friend of the pod.
Oh, was it Graham's birthday?
Yes.
I was like, it better not be a friend of ours. I forgot.
No,
I was like, I don't think it's Robert. I don't think it's Alex. It was Graham's birthday. What did she do? How old is Grams? If she wants to disclose.
I was just going to say, don't ask me how old she is.
You don't know?
I don't know. She's 80-something. 84?
Oh my God, so
85?
youthful.
83?
Well, those are 3 different ages. All 3 are possible.
Early to mid 80s.
Okay, all right.
Is Grams. She went out to dinner yesterday, and then she got to dinner the last 2 days?
You pose that as if it's a question to me. You look directly at me.
Wait a minute. What even is the day?
Today is Saturday. August 28th.
I don't know what's going on.
Was her birthday today, actually?
No. Was it Thursday, though? I'm literally like...
Oh, boy.
This announcement has backfired so much.
Yeah.
I, can't even...
Well,
I don't know what day it is.
Happy, definitely belated birthday, Grams.
Yeah. Her birthday was Thursday. I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Okay, so her birthday was 2 days ago. Yeah. So she went out. Here's why I'm thrown off. Because she went out to dinner that night. My aunt took her out to dinner. And then last night, my sister and my mom took her out to dinner.
Okay. Where did they go?
They went to this Mexican place that they had never been to before. Speaking of Mexican restaurants.
You know what? That's bold for a birthday dinner to go somewhere new.
Yes.
It's bold.
It is.
I am impressed.
It's bold, but where she lives, there aren't like a ton of options. So probably trying the new place was like
exciting and fun.
A good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like they had a great time. I guess there was fun music, giant margaritas.
Did Graham have a giant margarita?
Yeah. Do you want to see a picture?
I do. I got a vamp though while you pull it up.
It's incredible.
Oh, that was fast. Oh my God, that thing is massive.
Oh yeah, it's quick.
That
margarita is like the size of her head.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, more power to her. It looks like it was strawberry. Divine.
It does. Yeah.
I'm killing it. A cold drink right now. Although it's not too hot today.
I mean, that's a great thing. Can I say, I finally know what you mean when you say you're locked in your room with like all the windows shut, fan off.
Yeah.
Just dying.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm so glad that you now know, so we don't ever waste my time in here.
Never
again. It's too rough in here. I actually have an announcement, I guess, to make as well.
Okay, cool.
Well, I guess I have an announcement and just also an update for you personally that I guess we're going to talk about live on the pod. I'm starting a newsletter. I know you're thinking, why? And the answer is, why not?
Why not?
Yeah. I just really feel compelled to do it, so I'm doing it. And it should come out on Wednesday, the day after this goes live. So
fabulous.
It's called The Third, because I am Edward Richard Wojciechowski the Third.
Look at you.
I know. I haven't embarked on a personal project that is like also a solo project in quite some time. So this is different. It's like weird how I don't have to like ask anybody else for like what their thoughts are.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this looks good to me. This sounds good to me.
Is it like refreshing to just kind of be able to do your own thing?
I don't know if refreshing's the word, but it's different. It's different.
Well, this is exciting. Everyone should go check it out. How do they do that?
So it's, if you go to thethird.substack.com, I'll put it in the show notes, in the show description. You can just go there and put your email in and it'll come into your inboxy every
That's so easy.
Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, I think is what it's going to happen. And it's just like divided into like 3 little bits because, you know, the third, the number 3 bits. And I don't know. It's just going to be like random stuff. I think as a, oh no, I don't have it written down. I thought I had it written down what I was going to write about, but I think I'm going to write about this week music that I'm into because there's a lot of good stuff came out recently. And there was another topic that I wrote down and I don't remember. And then I had to figure out the third one. So that's my not spoiler. What's the word I'm looking for?
Announcement.
Yeah.
Reveal.
My reveal. Yes.
Your reveal.
My sneak peek.
This is your sneak peek.
Yeah. And then the only other thing that I had to say, because we got to take a break soon, is that we have new photos of us that our friend Pilar took of us.
We do. Thank you, Pilar. They're so good.
Yes. And it should be different as soon as the people see this. If you're listening to this, you should be seeing the new stuff. If you're not,
if you're listening to this, yes,
the next week. But I really think I'll get it done by the time this comes out. But you and I, when we're done with the pod, we got to talk about which photos we like. Yeah, because I got to get to making us look more beautiful than we already are.
Which should not be a hard feat.
Oh, you would be surprised. All right, let's take a break and we'll come back with a message from somebody who's not an American citizen. Our first one, I think, right? Oh, no, Canadians. Oops. People who are not from North America.
Big moment. Hey everyone, this is Alyson. We just wanted to check in and say thank you so much to everyone who has listened, engaged on our Instagram, sent in a message, checked out the blog. We really appreciate it. And we would absolutely love it if you could give us a call and leave us a message at 202-630-4509 or send us a message into our DMs on our Instagram, a message from, or you can send an email as well to a messagefrompod@gmail.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Welcome back from that lovely, refreshing break.
Yes.
We have a message from, as Edward mentioned, our first non-North American.
Okay, so I did say that, and then I was thinking during the break, the 10 seconds, that technically Pilar is a dual citizen.
True.
But she was born in the United States, so
I think we have to count her as
we do,
a North American. Pilar, what do you want to be counted as?
Probably both.
This message is either our first or second message from a North American, and it is from Adrián.
Oh, look at that fun spin. Look at that pronunciation. So impressive.
I'm so good.
Spends 2 weeks in Spain.
When I was in Spain, I couldn't speak Spanish to save my life. Like, if I was alone, I was fine. And now that I'm home, I'm changing V's into B's. I'm speaking Spanish. It just is coming out.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, let's play the message, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get into the message.
Hello, guys. How you doing? Adrián here. So I have a question. I recently got my PhD here in Madrid, and I was thinking about moving to New York to work as a postdoc. What do you think are the pros and cons of living in America? And what do you think is going to be the hardest thing for me as a Spanish person to live in America?
That's a really good message.
It's a great message. I was a little afraid because full disclosure, I hung out with Adrián yesterday and was basically like, please send a message in. And he was like, okay, sure. And I was like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you can even do it in Spanish, you can do it in English, you can do it in Spanish, and I'll translate it. And I was like very concerned that he would actually send it in Spanish and I would like not understand what he was saying. But we're good. His English is so good. So perfect.
His English is incredible. Your English is wonderful, Adrián. I'm sorry I didn't meet you when I was in Spain.
I'm never not going to laugh when you say his name.
Say it. How am I saying it wrong?
No, you're not saying it wrong. It's just funny. I find it very funny in general when people will like speak in English in their normal accent, and then if they say another word in another language.
But one word.
Just the one word, and it's like the full accent, full thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like when people will say like mozzarella, and I'm like, just say mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. It's probably really annoying for people who have to listen to me. Like when people, I feel like this is something that has happened to me multiple times. When people are like, oh, what's your favorite pasta? And then
oh my God, and you're like
And then I have to be like, oh, it's orchiette.
Yeah. Orchiette.
But anyway.
Farfalle.
Anyway.
They're like, Jesus Christ, call it bow tie.
Farfalle. Okay, anyway. Back to Adrian's message.
Yes.
I'm sad I didn't meet you. I've heard great things about you, but I'm happy you sent us in a message. Sent in a message? I don't speak English either, clearly.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't help you there. But it is exciting. I mean, I don't know too much about postdoc life, even though I now have 2 friends who are postdocs, I guess. You think I would know more, but from what I understand, you find a lab or something like that. So he was saying that he was considering going to the US for it. And I was like, oh, that's exciting. But what do you think the pros and cons are of living in America? I feel like you have a lot to say about this.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's very exciting. I mean, I think New York is a great place for this. There are tons of universities, tons of research institutions. I think it's a really great place to find those kinds of opportunities. And I also think that, as a Spanish person coming to America, I think New York is a great place because it's already a very multicultural city. And I feel like it's more accepting,
Very diverse.
Yes. It's very diverse, so I feel like a little bit of that culture shock would be lessened just simply by the fact that you're in New York. There are tons of people already from other countries.
Be a little different than moving to bumfuck nowhere.
Exactly.
To go to
exactly. Or even
rural college.
Or even for people who go to universities and they end up in the South or the Midwest or even on the West Coast. I feel like it's very different.
True.
I think it'll be interesting because you think, okay, Madrid is obviously a huge city, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you come to New York and you think that's the ultimate big city in America, but the two are so different.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences between the two for sure. I'd say it's more similar than Madrid and LA or
oh yeah,
but
for sure.
Still, I mean, New York is very unique.
Yes, unique is a good way to put it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think pros, obviously you're going to meet a ton of people. You would be in, just by picking New York, that's a pro already. You're going to meet a ton of people from all over the world. Like I said, it's probably already, I don't want to say it's an easy transition guaranteed, but easier.
No, moving to the U.S. is definitely a culture shock in general.
Yeah, but the cons, I think, of America in general are just so much. When I think of America in comparison to Europe, it's just everything is so much coming at you at once. There are more cars, there are more buildings, there are more people are louder, everything's screaming at you.
It's definitely a culture of excess, the United States.
Yes.
For sure. As for louder, I don't think anyone's louder than Spanish people. But
okay, Spanish people are pretty loud. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah.
But you're right. Everything is just. I mean, obviously, when you think of excess, you think of food, American excess,
mm-hmm.
Food. But it's also just we just have lots of stuff in the U.S.
Yeah.
For the sake of having it.
Oh, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel I mean, I guess I just keep coming back to New York in general. I just, like I said, it's so much more. There are more people. It's busier. More cars. More buildings. It's gonna be dirty.
I was talking to him last night, and I was like, "Oof, the subway." And he was like, "You don't like the subway?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
the subway is disgusting."
Filth. The metro in Madrid was so nice.
It's so
it was
clean.
So shiny and clean.
But it's funny because
nice.
Even I'll be this is dirty. But it's just because it's what I'm used to. I'm used to a high standard.
Yeah.
And so when I get on certain lines, I'm like, woof, it is bleak down here. Mm-hmm. But then, people come from New York and they're like, where are the rats? There's no delays.
There's no like weird black water dripping from the walls.
Yeah, not usually. Sometimes in the tracks, but that's normal.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Dirty. Oh, it's not going to be as clean. That's for sure. I feel like in Europe, everywhere, in the early morning hours, like in the wee hours of the morning, there's always someone outside spraying down the sidewalks, getting rid of the trash, cleaning up.
Yeah. I've been hit by those people who are like hosing down streets when I've been sometimes come home from a night out and been like, or not even, I would go to work so early. My first year here, I would cross through Plaza Chueca to go to the train station, and they were always cleaning it, like the exact time when I was like walking through, and I had to walk around them. They would not like move out of my way, and many times they just like sprayed me, and I was just like, all right. Made me feel dirty.
I was gonna say, like, if you're coming back from a night out, maybe you need to be sprayed down.
Well, that was when I was going to work, though.
Yeah, but on your way to work, you don't want to be sprayed down with a hose.
I already sprayed myself down by taking a shower.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think would be difficult about moving to the U.S. as a Spanish person?
As a Spanish person?
I could mostly just think of like, I mean, culturally, it's obviously very different. The U.S. is very fast-paced, and I don't think that Spanish culture in general is very fast-paced. I mean,
that's the biggest thing.
The land of the siesta. You know, like the days are much longer here in general.
Yes.
Things are more chill.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I feel like I always come back to that, you know, across the board when I think about obviously the countries in Europe that I've spent the most time in. Life is just a little bit like slower, more relaxed, and I feel like more enjoyed and appreciated. Whereas here, like you said, everything is super fast paced, like go, go, go all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like sandwiches to go, coffee to go, like lunch to go. Like that's not as much of a thing here. No. And I would say, I guess, like all of Southern Europe, it's kind of similar to that whole vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, like, more concretely, I would say, like, they have to get used to like eating times. Because we eat so much earlier in the U.S. and they eat so late here.
It took me a while to get used to eating later there.
I mean, I ate early for you.
You ate early for me, and I was still like, this is late.
It's just you structure your meals differently. You have to have a snack. We had snacks.
Yes.
I do prefer it more because you don't end up eating a lot at dinner.
That's exactly it. And I feel like it was a really good reset for me to get back on track after like working from home for the last year and a half. I'm like always around food, always around snacks. It's so easy to just like go like a little grab piggy? A snack.
Little piggy wants a snack.
Yes, little piggy always wants a snack. So I feel like it was a really good reset for me there. Because that's just not like the lifestyle, and obviously we were out and doing things all the time. So now this week I've been trying to kind of maintain that same schedule. And like,
well, you even made Spanish food. Well, you attempted to make Spanish food. I made Spanish food. Yeah.
I did.
It was impressive.
Thank you. It was good.
But I did want to say also about like differences or difficulties for Spanish people in the U.S. I had a question for you. When somebody asks you, "How are you?" what do you say?
Oh gosh, this is a really interesting question. Okay, so if someone says like, "How are you?" I'd be like, "I'm good. How are you?" Or if I'm trying to sound like smarter, I'll be like, "I'm well. And you?" Or like, "I'm well, how are you?" Because you're technically not supposed to say I'm good. I'm well. I'm doing well. Anyway,
true.
I digress.
That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that grammatically. But so like you would never actually like disclose how you're actually feeling.
No.
Exactly.
We don't disclose how we're feeling.
And I was thinking about like what is different between like Spain and the US. And I was like eating times, pace of life, obviously personal space. That's very different too. We don't do two kissies in the U.S., especially not in the pandemic. But I was also thinking about how, like, it took me a long time to actually, people would ask me, how are you here? And I would just be like, you know, good or well. And they would be like, no, like, how are you? Like, tell me how you are. And I was like, why would you care about that? Why do you want to know that information?
Yeah.
Why would I want to disclose that? I think that's also another thing, too. We're just not very personable in the U.S.
No, it's really interesting. Like, we come off as more open and friendly because we'll talk to anyone. Like, you'll turn to the random person in line next to you that you've never seen before and throw out, like, a random whatever comment or question.
Do you do that?
But it happens a lot here. I don't do it,
But people
but
do
it's
it to
very
you.
yeah, people do it to me. It's very common to, like,
Never happens to me in the U.S.
make this, like, weird mutual connection. Like, we're both here doing the same thing.
No,
like,
I hate that.
but it's meaningless. It's literally meaningless. Like, you say it, it's a throwaway comment. You don't actually care. Exactly like asking how someone is. Like, they don't actually care how I'm doing, mostly, you know? And I don't actually care to tell them how
No, I
I'm really
never
doing.
cared
I'm
how
like,
people were doing.
why
When I
would
would
you
ask at
care if I'm
work-
having a bad day? Like,
Don't talk to me
you
about
don't.
it.
But people in, like, I guess Southern Europe in particular, or I guess in my experience, Spain and France, like, they're not asking you how you're doing just to say words. They're not going to go out of their way to say words to you if they don't actually care about the response.
Yeah, it's very much like it's a greeting in the U.S. and it's like a genuine curiosity in I guess these parts of Europe and maybe other places in the world too. But I don't know. I don't have that firsthand experience. But
Yeah.
yeah, it takes a long time to get used to that. Do people talk to you on planes? People are always like, "Oh my God, really?"
Yeah, not always, but
no one has ever talked to me on a plane.
No.
And I think it's
I
because
I made friends with the two guys on the plane next to me from
that's
Paris to
right.
Madrid. I told
That's
you about
right.
that. One of them was like a professional cyclist, and they were heading for like a month-long stint of races in Europe.
That's right. I forgot about
Something about my face, which is so weird because, like,
I think it's your eyes.
My RBF says, like,
I don't think you have an RBF.
really?
No, yeah, I don't really think
Maybe
so.
I've evolved over the years.
It has lifted.
But people, it's lifted. The veil has come off. But people, every time I'm, like, traveling, people look at me and they're like, oh, she can help. She'll help us. So, like, the guys next to me on the plane, they were actually really nice, and we had a very interesting conversation. But it's like, I gave them my pen to fill out their health forms. I answered their questions about, like, the difference between the health forms in France and, like, the QR code for Spain on their phone. And I gave them the little pokey thingy so they could change the SIM card in their phone. And it's like, I've been in France before, and people just come up to me and they're like, oh, she can help. She knows what she's doing. And then I end up explaining them how the whole tram system works and help them buy their tickets. And
See, like, in France, no one comes up to me because they think I'm French. And tourists, like, would not. When I lived in Paris, tourists would never talk to me. But they would, like, ask a friend who I was with. And then...
This is funny because, sorry, real quick. I was in a meeting with my boss earlier this week, and she wanted to see pictures from my trip. And so I showed her a few pictures and stuff, and she saw you, and she goes, is he French? He looks French. I was like, he would love this. He's gonna love it.
I do love that.
I was like, no, he's from Pittsburgh. She's like, what?
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. I really should move back to France and, like, fit in somewhere. I definitely don't look Spanish at all. But that has happened. It happens to me in, like, the countries that speak, like, German or, like, in Eastern Europe. People will always be, like, ask me things, and I'm like, that's different because they think I'm, like, a local. But no one ever really talks to me because I think I just look really mean, which is fine. I'm very okay with that.
Oh, what was it? Also, the train from Paris to Nice, the lady next to me.
Oh, yeah, she was, like, chatting up a storm.
She was chatting me up nonstop, talking mad shit about the kid and the baby in our car that wouldn't shut up.
See, that's the kind of interaction I'm looking for, and I will never get that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
we've reached the end of the pod, and I do want to say thank you to Adrián for sending us this message, even though I coerced him to do it. But he will receive a
but it was great.
postcard in the mail.
We will. Send you Addie, and I'll send you a postcard.
I think I have it, but I'm not sure.
One last thing.
Yes. What do you
One
have?
last thing. I want to finish this out with one more pro and one con.
Okay. I can give you like
because I feel
30
like we
seconds.
talked about ourselves a lot. So I want to actually
True.
get back to the message. Okay.
Good
Pro.
point.
Air conditioning everywhere. You will not sweat like a filthy animal like you do in Madrid. Con. Everything here is more expensive.
That's true. Those were both very good pros and cons. I agree.
Yeah.
He does have air conditioning here, though, so.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a pro in
Wow.
both of his situations, unfortunately. Not for me, though. So, yeah. Adrián, thank you. You'll get your postcard. I'll give Alyson your address if I can figure it out. And other people, please call and give us messages so I don't have to go out and bounty hunt these messages. At 202-630-4509 or a message from pod@gmail.com. Rate and review, and find us on Instagram at a message from, where you'll see the new photos from the photo shoot, and amfpod.com, where Alyson is going to talk about her recommendations from Spain, right? Yes. Fabulous.
Yes. So be on the lookout for those.
All
with
right.
photos. There
With
will be
photos.
photos.
With photos. Photos of me looking French and photos of food.
Photos of Ed looking French and photos of me. What did that person say? Morena?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's true. Somebody called you tan. Not me, obviously.
Love.
Well, a topic for another time. All right, Alyson. Goodbye.
Ciao.